alpine air. Turn to the experts at
We're back at it. Hope you had a good Wednesday. I hope you have a great Thursday, because that's the day it is today. It's Thursday. Last day of November, 30th day of the month 2023. I am Dan Kuntz. December comes tomorrow. It is snowing lightly over most of our viewing area. It's not sticking to the roadways. It's barely even sticking to your car. But we're in for a significant change in the weather. Precipitation is coming our way. We're going to get a little bit of everything. We got some couple of very interesting slides to show for you from the National Weather Service that should give you a general idea of exactly how much snow we're going to get starting really tomorrow and lasting hit and miss through Sunday. Big warm-up coming up in the early part of next week, starting really on Sunday, but very mild. We're going to go from snow to rain coming up, but it's going to start feeling, it's starting to feel like Christmas. Yeah, forecast details always take center stage. That's the first thing that we do. The news, sports, tough loss for the Wild last night in overtime. We'll have highlights of that. Also, the Cougar ladies played really good last night. We'll have that. Friendly reminder, Saturday is the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band Booster Club's annual craft bazaar. They got about 160 artisans there with all kinds of cool one-of-a-kind gifts. It's a ginormous event. It takes up the whole Wenatchee High School Commons and then some. And we'll be discussing that one more time. Just in case you missed the interview on Monday, we wanted to show it to you one more time because Sophie and Alexa, the senior and junior drum majors, we had a great conversation with them. That'll come up in the back half of the program. And if we have time, and if you entered for Winnie Wednesday yesterday for those Wenatchee Wild tickets, I'll do the drawing before this show is over. I don't know if we have cameras. Do we have cameras, Uriah? We do not have cameras. Long story or short story, either way, it's a technical problem. You don't care. We do. No cameras. Sorry, folks. Just picture them in your mind, if you will. We probably wouldn't be able to see much anyway. Let's jump right to these slides from the National Weather Service to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. We do have a winter weather advisory. It starts 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, so by this time when we get together tomorrow, it'll be in effect. So from 4 a.m. Friday to 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, we are going to get snow. Now, there's a lot of variance out there. Temperatures, the jet stream, how much moisture actually comes in. All of these things are in play now. So this is the low end amount. We're going to, in our area, take a look. We're going to get at least this much snow. As you can see in Wenatchee, an inch, maybe an inch and a half. Passes are going to get hammered. This is the low end snow total. This is tonight, starting tonight, all the way through Sunday morning. So basically through the weekend, this is how much snow at least we're going to get in our viewing area. As you can see, the Columbia Basin is not going to get much. This is the high end amount of snow. We could get as much as 3 inches of snow in the Wenatchee Valley. 40 inches of snow possible on Stevens Pass. Lots of snow on I-90. Lots of snow just up and down the entire Cascade Crest and also in the Idaho Panhandle. So that we could get as much as that. 4 inches in Chelan, a couple of inches in Omak. We shall see. Again, this is going to change quite a bit. They're going to change, move things around because it's a pretty active storm system, but it's kind of hard to lock everything down. It happens this time of the year, but we could get up to 3 inches of snow, up to 3 inches of snow. Probably more like an inch to an inch and a half, but we will know a lot more, by the way, by this time tomorrow when we get together. But that winter weather advisory does begin tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. And by the way, the air stagnation advisory, we've been under that for almost all of this week. That expires at 11 o'clock this morning. And interestingly enough, yesterday's high, 30, yesterday's low, 28. That was it. 2-degree differential between our high and our low for the 24-hour period that constituted Wednesday, the 29th of November. From the National Weather Service, here we go. It's a little bit of everything. Again, cloudy today, right around 31 or 32. We're at 28 right now. Light hit and miss snow, most of it now. It should taper off, but again, it's not really sticking to the roadway at all. And about a 30% chance of snow tonight, 23 for the overnight low. You'll notice that the clouds are going to be hanging around. Now, let's talk Friday. Starting Friday, we start talking about maybe an inch of snow Friday, off and on throughout the course of the day. So we're going to get snow tomorrow, and it's going to be light, consistent snow, probably not enough to really screw up your afternoon commute on Friday. But again, the passes are going to get hammered. You got to be heads up on that. Very difficult driving conditions expected in the Cascades, especially on Stevens Pass. But I-90 in blue, it's going to get smacked around pretty good. And some snow on Friday night. We shall see. The snow level is going to be right around 2,100 feet on Friday night, so it's going to go up a little bit. On Saturday, snow level at 2,600 feet, and by Saturday afternoon, that snow will probably switch over to rain. As you can see, we're going to see highs in the upper 30s on Saturday, and you can pretty much forget about the snow. Now we're talking rain on Sunday with some warm air coming up from the south, so we go to 40 to 41 to the mid-40s with rain, perhaps some pretty significant rain Monday night, Tuesday, and spilling into the early hours of Wednesday. Lots of weather going on right now. But again, whatever snow we're going to get is not going to stick around very far. 6 minutes after the hour, going to take a break, and then we'll have your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Lose yourself in the magic of the most wonderful time of the year at Cirque Dreams Holidays. This electrifying stage production has captured the imagination of audiences throughout the country. Delight in the holiday season as the world's finest circus artists perform alongside a cast of lovable holiday characters. Sprinkled with high-energy dance numbers and festive holiday music, it's the perfect gift for the entire family.
It is snowing lightly, also a little misty. I noticed 28 degrees. Not going to get much warmer than 28. We'll be right around 32 or 33. Light snow not sticking to the roadways a great deal, and that's what we're going to have, hit and miss snow until we get to Saturday afternoon. Then we get rain, and once again, significant snow, close to perhaps 40 inches of snow on Stevens Pass by the time this system passes through on Sunday afternoon. It's 9 minutes after the hour. 25-year-old East Wenatchee man has pled guilty to assault charges in the sexual abuse of a 12-year-old child. Kenneth R. Crisp entered a plea Tuesday in Douglas County Superior Court to 2 counts of second-degree assault. The Columbia River Drug Task Force arrested Crisp in September of last year. Investigators finding evidence that he carried on a sexual relationship with the victim beginning in 2020. Now, the plea agreement allows Crisp to plead to felony assault and avoid multiple sex crime charges originally filed in the case. He faces a recommended prison term of 13 months when he's sentenced on December 27th. Another East Wenatchee suspect, Michael Alvarez Espinosa, is also charged with federal crimes for allegedly abusing the same victim and distributing video files of the act. Espinosa faces trial in January in U.S. District Court. A Wenatchee DUI arrest that was overturned by the Superior Court will remain overturned, according to the Washington State Court of Appeals. In a 2-1 ruling on Tuesday, the higher court upheld the decision to reverse the conviction of Frank Edward Stearns, who was arrested by Wenatchee police in 2019 on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. A Chelan County District Court judge found him guilty of DUI and 2 other charges, but on appeal, Superior Court Judge Robert Jordan found in May of last year that police had lacked sufficient evidence to stop Stearns' vehicle. The Court of Appeals ruling says the arrest was based on a bystander's tip, and the police officer did not observe sufficient evidence of impaired driving. One judge, however, did dissent, saying the traffic stop should have been allowed. A former employee of the East Wenatchee Water District is suing the East Wenatchee Water District, saying his superiors discriminated against him after he says he was injured on the job and has a persistent disability. Brian Kiffin filed a lawsuit on Tuesday in federal court in Spokane. He was with the Water District for nearly 30 years. Apparently, according to the lawsuit, suffered a back injury while on the job in 2020. Kiffin's lawsuit alleges that the district refused to accommodate his inability to lift heavy loads or manually operate large water valves, and then they unlawfully fired him in 2021. Now, the Water District serves about 10,000 customers. It has yet to file a response, by the way, to that lawsuit. Over 200 cases of a mysterious new respiratory disease has been discovered in Oregon. It is affecting dogs. This has been going on since August. The illness has been seen in other places as well. What is it? Dogs begin experiencing symptoms similar to kennel cough, but dogs don't respond to standard antibiotic treatment. And the disease can result in pretty poor outcomes in as little as 24 to 36 hours. No cases have been reported in our state, but a Wenatchee veterinarian, Dr. Colin Bonnet, wants to inform pet owners what to look for.
It hasn't been very well described yet, and I think that there remains a bit of uncertainty about what exactly it is. The first one that we heard of, I think at least regionally, was maybe out of Oregon, and then there's some in the Northeast as well. This seems to be, by all accounts, to be one of this kind of complex, what's called canine infectious respiratory disease, which is, a lot of people would call it, or kennel cough, for example, is one version of this. And so we'd be looking for things like coughing, sneezing. Sometimes there's some ocular discharge and kind of squinting, things like that. Generally, these dogs are lethargic and off of their food. They kind of don't want to perform. They don't want to go for the normal run or a walk.
And finally, it's that time of the year again. Department it's time to close some of the foothill trails around the west side of the Wenatchee Valley. A few of the foothill trails will close officially tomorrow, December 1st. Sage Hills trails will close as a result of mule deer migration. The 960-acre Home Water Wildlife Preserve is located in the heart of the Sage Hills. Included as part of the annual seasonal closure, the Horse Lake Reserve trails shut down tomorrow, and all side trails up to the Dry Gulch Preserve will also be closed. If you're a local hiker and you want to go out and about, of course, the Apple Capital Loop Trail remains open. Saddle Rock, Lower Castle Rock, and the Jacobson Preserve trails are still an option. And that is the news at 14 minutes after the hour. We'll have a newscast for you tonight. We always do. We think it's important that our viewers be informed about what's going on. The news with Grant and Eric at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. If that doesn't work in your schedule, you can always watch our news on our Facebook page, on our homepage, ncwlife.com. It'll be up and running on our YouTube page as well, right around 5 o'clock. And if you have a news tip, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, or better yet, send us an email. That's the best way to go about doing it. news@ncwlife.com. Sports, the obscure holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty, and my conversation with the senior and junior drum majors of the award-winning Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band, coming up on this last day of November edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. Oh. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Wenatchee!
Where you at?
From the heavens!
Where you at?
Woo!
Where you at?
Where you at? WWE Super Show is where it's at.
Where you at?
Live in Wenatchee, January 7th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages available now.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
17 minutes after the hour in women's college basketball, if you score 111 points, the odds are pretty good you're going to win. For the Washington State Cougar women, they did score 111 points. It was the third most points in team history. And they beat Texas A&M Commerce 111-50. The Cougars improved to 8-1 on the season.
72-36 now, so we're down to 2.5 left to play third quarter. Genevilla feeds it inside to Bella Muricatete, little jump hook, that one up and good. Matches a career high in boards for Bella, she's up to 16. Meanwhile, Tara Wallach off the mark, no good. Bella gets the rebound and puts it up and in. She'll hand off to Tahina as the Cougars cross the timeline. AT to Bella, comes near side to Charlize Ledger-Walker, hits a Bella Muricatete cut, and she'll put it up and in. And that's where they're gonna rank. Only Northern Iowa in 2004 and Alaska Anchorage in 2000, or actually make that 1979, the only two times the Cougars have scored more than tonight. So again, with the 111 points tonight, it's the third most in Cougar history. They blow out Texas A&M Commerce 111-50 tonight.
Cougar coach Cammie Etheridge happy to see her team bounce back in a big way. Remember last week in Wisconsin, they just got creamed.
I mean, it's just hard to be perfect. It's hard to be perfect on defense, and teams are just so good offensively now that you've got to find ways to, keep pace with scoring, and people that are great on rebounding or people that can run the floor and get easy baskets. You got to find ways to stay in games, and I feel like we have more weapons, and I feel like we have people. We just haven't been playing the right way all the time, and I think this was a great example of spreading the ball around and getting a lot of people different looks and keeping the defense moving and in spin cycles versus. I feel like sometimes we tee ourselves up. Everybody sees the screen coming. Everybody knows it's coming. They got 3 seconds to figure it out, and then they swallow us up because we don't play fast enough. And this was a good example of we kind of kept them on their heels, and we kept attacking and generally got just tremendous looks at the basket.
Other scores in women's college basketball last night. Eastern Washington misses a shot at the buzzer, and they lose to Gonzaga 82-80. The Bulldogs led by the 23 points each from Yvonne Ejim and Kaylin Truong. On the men's side last night, Eastern Washington routed in Los Angeles, USC 106, Eagles 78. Casey Jones was the only Eagle in double figures. He scored 10. Seahawks are in Dallas tonight, trying to snap in a 2-game losing streak. Coach Pete Carroll says despite the struggles offensively over the last couple of games, he says he has to be patient with the offensive side of the football, knowing they will eventually start scoring points.
We have to be patient so that we do right and we don't try to force the issue, force the situation, so that we can take advantage of when the opportunities are there. And so, that's always a case, particularly when you got a guy that can throw the ball over the yard and he can throw it everywhere, and our guys are getting downfield and all. We need to exercise patience, and regardless of what the situation is, so that we can find our way and our rhythms to get downfield. So it's something we do talk about. Yeah.
Quarterback Geno Smith says he believes in his teammates, he believes in his coaches. We're going to get better, and we're going to try real hard.
I would just say tons of film that we can go back and watch and see a number of times where we've been really successful and been really explosive, and we still got those same players and same coaches. And so I trust in our process. I believe in the players around me. I believe in the coaches. I believe in myself. And so for us, again, it just get back to doing what we do, which is playing good football, playing sound football, and knowing that we can execute. That's the reality, being confident in that. And I'll always remain confident in myself, but I'm, going to continue to preach that I'm even more confident in the guys around me, and I know that we all collectively can get it done. So that's where it lies.
Seahawks and the Cowboys in Jerry World, 5:15 kickoff. You can watch it on Amazon Prime Video or Q13 Fox, if you have that. Seattle Kraken continue their 4-game road trip tonight. They're in Ontario, taking on the Maple Leafs in Toronto. The puck sets to drop at 4 o'clock, and you can watch that on Root Sports Northwest. Wenatchee Wild lost a thriller in Kelowna last night in overtime, 5-4. The Rockets got out to the early lead. Wenatchee came storming back. They tied it. Then they tied it again. Then they went to overtime, and then a spectacular game winner from Kelowna in the extra frame.
Now through the middle, he'll get away from a check. Nice play, chance backhand, and a save by G. Seitz with it now. Seitz in the right corner, right-hand shot. He'll take back behind the net. He'll look out in front. He'll take a sharp angle shot. He'll score. He was able to rifle it home, and Kikkonen went to the butterfly, down maybe prematurely, but typically in today's day and age, the goalie is taught to do that. Just a great shot by Seitz.
Effective.
Yeah.
I should write that down.
Chris Millett's going to join us. Here's a chance on the side. Is it in? It is. It is in.
They don't need the power play as much at home. They just win anyways.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they're a real good team here. Geeky at the side. They score Wood. One who's able to jam it home. Only 7 seconds into the man advantage. Again, Connor Geeky's going to get an assist on the play. And so that makes it a 1-goal hockey game. Rockets lead 3-2. He'll skate in, looks for a trailer. Here's a wrist shot towards the goal coming from Miles Cooper wide. Wood back behind the goal. In front for Cooper. He'll cock and he'll fire and he'll score. And so a quick strike again for Wenatchee. Cooper delivers it in. It's 3-3. And so, yeah, he's a guy with a lot of experience. It's Hurley in. A shot and a nice blocker save made by the goaltender G there. And you can see that interview, a video we did on Kelowna 10. You may want to check that out. Stutz in front. They score! Stutz shoots and scores on a quick drive and a one-timer.
Do not retaliate. You're up a goal. It's an important 2 points you're looking at.
Sherbina skates in and a score. Took a shot, kicking and save, rebound there, and Rocek did not pick up. Sherbina is 4-4 with 5:20 left in the game. Here's Andrew Crystal, goes back here to the blue line. Here's Iggy, face up, dot in front, chance, shot, and a save by G. Oh, Rocek with a chance to be the hero tonight, and G shut him down.
Just battling in the corners, and Rocek being ready to take the pass. He's still out there. Here comes Rocek.
Yeah, back in, nice move, chance back in, a score! Kelowna Rocket uniform without question. A solo effort. Individual glory. And the Rockets win tonight 5-4 in overtime.
Wild are back at home at the Town Toyota Center tomorrow night. Take on Portland. It is Teddy Bear Toss night. That'll be fun. Good crowd expected tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center. For tickets, go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Wednesdays are usually pretty quiet in the world of prep sports, and that was exactly the case yesterday. OMAC boys and girls swept Liberty Bell. The Pioneers came on top in the girls' game 44-36. The boys win 63-55. Same deal with Tenasket. They swept down Curlew. The girls won 58-28. The boys 74-33. But there is high school sports tonight. In girls basketball, it's Wenatchee hosting Othello at 5:30. Eastmont's on the road at Hanford. They'll tip it off at 5:45. Antioch at Manson at 6. Lake Roosevelt visits White Swan. Waterville Mansfield will travel to Omak at 7. And Moses Lake will host Kennewick. And boys basketball, it's Moses Lake Christian visiting Oakesdale at 6:30. 7 o'clock, Othello at Wenatchee. Moses Lake at Kennewick. Eastmont at Hanford. Manson will host Antioch at 7:30. And Lake Roosevelt travels to White Swan. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 30th day of November. I could have chosen, but did not choose. For the obscure holiday, it's National Mason Jar Day. It's National Computer Security Day. It's National Moose Day, and not the animal. I'm talking about like chocolate mousse and that kind of stuff. But no, today is don't come into work because you feel good day today. It's stay home because you feel good day. It's the opposite of a sick day. Now, I actually worked for a company early part of my broadcasting career, not early part, but in my broadcasting career a number of years ago, about 25 years ago. The company actually had a policy. You had 2 days a year where you could call in well. You could call in well. You say, I feel so darn good today, I don't want to come into work. And it was all a straight up deal. And you were supposed to use them because you're only supposed to use sick days when you're sick. One time in the 90s when I was in radio, my morning show partner called in sick, and on a beautiful, warm summer Friday morning, and he said, I don't feel good, I'm not coming in. And then later on that day, I saw him out of the Columbia River water skiing. So you need to be careful when you do that. But sometimes you just need to play hooky from work. And today is the day to do it. You have my permission to do it. Like my permission means anything to you. But every once in a while, you don't make it a habit, but every once in a while, you need to take a day off because you just feel good and you don't want to come into work because you don't want to come into work. Nothing wrong with playing hooky every once in a while. Just don't make it a habit. Today's the day to do that. It should be on a Friday or a Monday, I think. Today in history, it was 69 years ago today, November 30th, 1954. Pictured there is Elizabeth Hodges. This is in Sylacauga, Alabama. She's sitting laying down on her couch, taking a nap in her living room. Elizabeth was, when a meteorite the size of a grapefruit, crashes through the roof, through the ceiling, bounces off her big console radio and hits her in the left side. She got hit by a meteorite while she was napping. It is the only documented case of a human being being struck by a rock from space. It was big news everywhere, not just in Sylacauga, Alabama. The meteorite was confiscated by the local police chief, like he had a right to do that. The police chief turned it over to the United States Air Force, like they had a right to have it. Elizabeth Hodge said, it hit me, so it belongs to me. They figured it was worth money, but they didn't own their house or their land. They were renters. The owner of the house and the land, Bertie Guy, said, it's on my land, it belongs to me. They had offers for the meteorite. They had people offered $5,000 for the meteorite, but the Hodges and the Guys couldn't figure out who actually owned it. They finally settled. The Hodges paid their landlord $500 for the rock, figuring, okay, now we own the rock. I got hit by it. I own it now. I paid $500 to my landlord, so now I own it. She could turn around and sell it for a really big fat profit. But it took so long to get all of this straightened out and get this thing settled that by the time the Hodges took possession of the meteorite, nobody cared anymore, and they were stuck with something that they couldn't sell. Ironically enough, the very next day, a farmer by the name of Jimmy, right next door to the Hodges, went out on his farm and found another piece of the same meteorite that had broken off when it entered the atmosphere. It was tiny. It was only about that big, half the size of a baseball. He found it, and he sold it for $5,000. Bought a house and a car with it. So the lady who got hit by the big rock got squat, and the guy who found a tiny piece of the rock sold it and bought a house and a car. That happened on this date in 1954. Everybody has a copy of this record, I think. I got a couple. I think I got 2 copies of the album and 1 on CD, maybe the 8-track, I don't know. 41 years ago today, you could go to your record store and buy the brand new album from Michael Jackson called Thriller. It very rapidly Within the course of a year, Thriller became the biggest selling album of all time, and I believe the last I checked it still is. I'm not sure. I think the Eagles' greatest hits and Thriller kind of changes position on the greatest selling album of all time. Ironically enough, it's not his best album. His best album was the one that came out before that, Off the Wall, which to me is a better record, but what do I know? Thriller in record stores on this date in 1982. ExxonMobil became the ginormous conglomerate. They merged on this date in 1998. A lot of people were against it. It was a $74 billion deal to merge the two oil giants, Exxon and Mobil. When the deal was done on this date, November 30th, 1998, they became by far the world's largest company. They are not the world's largest company anymore. Last I checked, they were about 15th. Exxon Mobil, the odds are pretty good. You bought gas from these guys. And this caught everybody by surprise. 24 years ago today, before the opening session of the WTO, the streets of downtown Seattle completely overwhelmed and taken over by protesters. The police and the authorities were absolutely not prepared. Opening ceremonies canceled. 157 people arrested and charged. All of the charges were eventually dismissed. It's kind of hard to find evidence on them. In fact, they got paid by the city of Seattle for unlawful arrests. They declared a curfew. They called out the National Guard. And the people of Seattle went, what happened? This was supposed to be a big wing-dang. And that happened. You remember that? It was on this date in 1999. Two historic birthdays. I can guarantee you both of these folks are in heaven. Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Now, I don't know if he's in heaven. I don't have those kinds of sources. Of course, Mark Twain. Probably the father of American literature. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, the great humorist and writer. Was born on this date in 1835, died in 1910 at the age of 74. When he was born in 1835, Halley's Comet paid a visit to the planet, and he always said, when Halley's Comet comes back again in 1910, I will die. And that's exactly what happened. Mark Twain, born on this date in 1835, and one of the 4 or 5 most significant figures of the 20th century. He's got to be. He's got to be in the top 4, maybe 3, could be number 1. For all we know, Sir Winston Churchill, born on this date in 1874, the first person ever in the history of this country to be given an honorary American citizenship. Of course, his father was British, his mother was American. Winston Churchill, born on this date in 1874. All right, going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti. I preview it, but I can't remember what it is that I loaded into the system. And then you're going to hear from Senior Drum Major Sophie Macon and Junior Drum Major Alexa Dickman, the annual Holiday Craft Bazaar put on by the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band Booster Club. Their big fundraiser is this Saturday at the high school. They'll join me next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the Instant Life channel.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, for some time, I've criticized some Christians and a church or two for some of their stances and practices, and I've been rebuked by other believers who accuse me of being divisive, and I've been lectured that I should only be supportive and promote unity. I'm also told that it's unchristian to be critical. Well, I have to wonder if some of those people have ever read the Apostle Paul's letters in the New Testament or some of the Old Testament prophets. Not in any way that I'm comparing myself to them, God forbid. Oh, gosh. But I think you get my point. And Jesus, the guy we're all saying we're following, now, who is it that he criticized? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Imagine a science project being done on the kitchen table. Feel the excitement on Christmas morning as the kids race down the stairs to form memories that cannot be erased. Listen for the laughter coming from the next room. Put your family in a new home to make these visions become reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade. Use the Move Meter entering 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on the cost of living and other factors. Make your dream place a reality with Coldwell Banker Cascade today.
Welcome back to the program, Saturday, December 2nd. If you haven't made plans already, you will be making plans to come to the annual Holiday Craft Bazaar put on by the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Band Booster Club. It's the biggest fundraiser of the year for the award-winning Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band at the Wenatchee High School Commons. Huge event, one-of-a-kind items. We'll talk about all that crap in just a little bit, and it ain't crap, it's good stuff. But it's always fun to talk about the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band. Back from Auburn and the traditional Veterans Day competition. Introduce yourself. Senior drum major is?
Sophie Macon.
Junior drum major is?
Alexa Dickman.
So Alexa will be taking over next year.
Yep.
So you are tutoring this gal, and you were tutored last year.
I was.
Which worked out pretty good, right, for you?
Mm-hmm. Love Finley. Miss her all the time.
Yeah. What is she doing now, by the way?
She's at Oregon State. I think she's working on her medical career, I think, still.
Is she still keeping up with her instrument? No. I'm trying to remember. Wasn't she a pianist? I can't remember.
She played the alto sax.
That's right.
But I don't think she liked it very much. But, she's stuck in it. Whenever she says she'll do something, she'll do it.
And that's one of the challenges. You're the senior drum major. You are the student leader of the band under the direction of Mr. Kovac. But you have to play an instrument and be proficient in it to even get to it. But once you become a drum major, do you keep up with your instrument?
Well, I love playing music, so it was easy for me. I just joined all the music groups I could to make up for the fact that I don't play for half of the year. So since I'm in wind ensemble and jazz band, I'm playing more than I ever have. So it's like, whatever.
And you're a saxophonist, right?
Yeah, I play the bari sax and the tenor sax.
And is it, again, are you keeping up with your instrumental prowess, your fingerings and your scales, even though you don't really play much?
Yeah, I'm also in wind ensemble and jazz band. And then we also get to play for concert season, since they don't need drum majors for that. So I'm going to be brass for that.
There is a season in band world. It is competition season, which is in the autumn, that culminates with a traditional trip to Auburn and the Veterans Day deal, where you do two competitions. You do a field competition where you do all of your little formations like we see at the football game at the halftime show.
Yep.
And then you do a marching thing, and then you're judged.
Yeah.
And then the concert season is in the winter, and the marching's in the spring. Is that correct?
Yeah,
pretty
it's
much?
the parade season.
The parade season
with
is what
Apple
you
Blossom
call it.
and Manson.
How did you guys do in Auburn?
We won in our division. We got second overall. Sumner beat us. They're a huge band, so it's harder to win as a smaller band. So we're super proud. We won first place for the parade and first place for the marching show, and we won 3 caption awards. We won best marching, music, and auxiliary.
And this is a judged competition?
Yes.
How do they judge that you're doing good? I know it sounds like a silly question, but how do they know? Go ahead, either one.
They've got a bunch of people down on the field with mics, and they've got certain people who are focused purely on like the woodwind brass sound, and they've got people who are looking specifically at the percussion and the guard, and there's people who are up in the upper box who are just watching, and then there's people down on the field who are giving kind of a closer look at it, and they do little recordings so later we can like listen back and like hear our feedback. Yeah, and they just grade us.
That's a lot. It's high school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gotta be nerve-wracking.
It is. It's nerve-wracking, especially whenever you're marching on the field and this judge is right in front of you and looking at you and going, and then they make a comment and you can't really hear because this guy's playing right next to you in your ear, but you're like, oh, I hope that was good. You can usually hear them whenever you're, as a drum major, on the podium. This guy's right under you and he can say, good job, but, and then that's all you hear and you're like, well.
But when you're the drum major, when you guys are competing and being judged, you know 16, 18 bars in whether you're doing it good or not, right?
Yeah, you can kind of hear it. Sometimes they'll be tearing whenever the percussion or parts of the band aren't lining up, and you go, oh, they're definitely going to comment on that one.
And yet, you won your division.
We won our division. It was probably the best time we've ever performed, in practices or not. They just really put it all out there, and I was like, so proud.
And this process began in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your sheets and is it the same deal that Mr. Kovac has been doing for years? You kind of get a layout of, it's actually like a football field.
Yeah.
And you have to realize where everybody's supposed to be at any one time?
Yeah, it's the same. Just looking at that chart where your number is and going, stepping it off.
And playing your instrument.
Playing your instrument.
And hitting the notes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, no regrets about deciding to become a drum major? Because I know the competition is pretty difficult.
I don't regret it all at all.
Right.
I've loved it so much. I miss being on the field sometimes, but then whenever you're performing and you're getting to express with your face and your emotions, it kind of makes up for what you're not expressing with the music you're playing.
Talk about the selection of your understudy. What kind of role did you play in that, Miss Macon, to get her on?
Well, so since Alexa did DCI this summer, she did professional marching band with the Seattle Cascades. So she didn't get to go to drum major camp with me, which is whenever we learned a lot of the stuff. So this year has been more like teaching basics, and she's learned so fast. Everything, like I'm so impressed that she didn't go to drum major camp and she's this good, because it's like 3 or 4 days of like 12-hour days of just like learning, and she's had to learn it. She had to learn it in like a week with an hour each day. So I'm like, oh my gosh.
So this was something you wanted to do.
Yeah, I did I started auditioning freshman year, and so we auditioned together. But I was a freshman, so I kind of knew that I wasn't going to get it. But it was just kind of like to know what the process was going to be for when I auditioned my sophomore year. And so I went through the whole process and I practiced and I kind of had a good idea of what I was going to do so that I could be prepared, because I knew that I was like, I love my marching band, but I want to go to the next level, you know? I want to be a leader.
Did you know you were going to get the gig when you got the gig?
No, I was kind of surprised, but I had a little hunch.
Yeah.
Does Mr. Kovac have the final say-so on it, or does he get some feedback from you? Or the band, for that matter?
The audition process is kind of different than the rest of the bands I've talked to. We have a panel of probably 8 or 9 judges, like our visual staff, our color guard staff, a few seniors from that year.
Sounds like the trip to Auburn.
And then the drum majors. And they're the ones we're sitting in while they're doing their audition. They're marching, their military stuff, their commands, and then there's a little interview afterwards. It probably takes 30, 45 minutes for one audition. And then we have scoring sheets, so we score them, we rank them, like number 1, this is my top pick for junior drum major the next year. And then Mr. K looks at the sheets and he makes a decision based off of that. But he doesn't show up to anything, like none of the practices. He doesn't he doesn't go to the auditions.
But that's good, isn't it?
I know, I think it's kind of smart, because then he's not like in front of them, like he's just like trusting the staff that's going to be working the most with the drum major.
And when you guys are performing, and I can say this from going to all the Panther home football games, we televise them all, you guys are in charge. I mean, he like opens the gate so you guys can go on the field, and his job ends there. I mean, you guys are in charge of your peers.
Yeah.
And it works, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Most of the time.
So he trusts you guys to do what you're supposed to do.
It's a big job.
Yeah. But it's a disciplined group, isn't it? Talk about the discipline of the Golden Apple Marching Band. It's the core of the whole success, isn't it?
Yeah, we like to keep ourselves pretty heavily disciplined, because it's like one of the things that we're known for, and like we hold it pretty high in our standards, that it's like people look at us when we're walking by and they're like, wow, I wish we were like that. I wish we could be that disciplined. And it just kind of adds that, like, you're like, wow, we're good, you know? It's kind of a nice feeling. But yeah, they work on it all season, and it's a lot. It's a lot of internal emotions to, like, you got to be really focused and you got to be really hardworking to, like, have the level of discipline that these kids have. Like, they're out there on the field, straight-faced, playing their all the time, and yeah, it's hard, but they do great.
Do you feel like you're getting the necessary support from the student body in general when you perform?
Yeah, I mean, they seem
I know your parents are all into it.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff.
Everybody seems to love it. Very supportive people. I mean, yeah.
Sometimes during games they can get a little mean in the student section, but once we get up there during halftime, they cheer for us. Me and Alexa do a glove drop where we drop our black gloves so that we can show our white ones so they can see us conducting. They cheer for that. They go crazy. So it's kind of like...
You know what it is? It's jealousy.
I know.
It is. It's jealousy because they're not doing it and you're out there.
They want to be us so bad.
Yeah. No, it's all jealousy because they're going, well, I didn't. Turns out I should have kept up with my trumpet because they're out there and I'm sitting here in the stands being a jerk, and that happens. Let's talk about the December 2nd. It is back. How many? I try to remember how many of these craft bazaars you guys have done. I've lost track.
Oh, I don't know.
You keep doing them.
They're from the end of time.
Okay.
And they'll probably go until...
So they go so far back that I think even Mr. Kovac remembers how long they've been doing it. This is the biggest fundraiser of the year for you on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And you guys roll in some serious dough with this. Mm-hmm. And then you do what with it?
It counts towards people's fair share so they don't have to pay as much. Uniform cleanings.
Alterations.
Yeah.
What about like music rental? I know Chinook Music is a huge sponsor of this. Do they help defray some of the costs of renting? Because instruments can be expensive.
I don't know about renting. Maybe renting. I don't know. I rent from Avalon. Sorry, Chinook.
That's okay.
It's just closer to
Avalon's
my house.
great people too.
I love Avalon and Chinook. I think it covers some of the costs for instrument repairs at Chinook. That's where if a student brings in a horn to Chinook, we don't really have to pay anything.
And every 4 years, and this is one of the cool things about being in the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band, if you come in as a freshman and you go all the way through the program for all 4 years, you're guaranteed a trip to Disneyland, and this is the Disneyland year.
Yeah, it is. We're really excited.
So spring break, first week in April, you're heading to Disneyland.
Yes, we are.
Have you been to Disneyland before?
I have not.
Really? What about yourself?
I've been.
Yeah.
I've been, I think, once or twice, yeah.
Your impressions?
I mean, I liked it. I don't remember a lot. I was younger, but Yeah, it's fun.
What's it like shaking hands with a mouse who has a head the size of a Maytag washer? It's kind of a weird thing.
No idea. steered clear.
And Disneyland is not a cheap trip.
No,
it's airfare, it's hotel, it's a few odds and ends, it's for you guys and your chaperones. And so you got to raise some serious dough, but it's something you got to remember for the rest of your life.
I know. Yeah, I'm really excited. It is costing a pretty penny for students out of pocket, but the Craft Bazaar is one of those things that help relieve some of that cost. So we're really excited.
So the Craft Bazaar, for those of you who don't know, I'll give you a quick recap. All these local artisans who are really good at whatever it is that they do, they create stuff, they make stuff, all kinds of different stuff. One-of-a-kind unique items, and then they all rent a table from you guys.
Yeah.
And they sell their wares.
Yeah.
Did I get all that right?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
So when you guys have to work the craft, I mean, you work in the whole day on the second, and then what tables are you personally going to go to when you get a chance?
I like all of the soap and candle ones. I also like the one, I always forget the name of the business, but they make these like really fancy pens, and I like looking at them.
Okay.
That's a really fancy pen.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you? Is there a table you have your eye on when you get a chance to?
I like the people who do like the metal or wooden art, or I like the people who do the very outdoorsy art that I think is super creative.
Do people know how big this is? This is big. You got like 150 vendors. You take over the entire commons. You go up and down the hallway. This is big.
Oh yeah, and we've expanded our bounds this year. So we're going from, usually we just go from like the main entrance through the commons, and this year we get to expand to past the auditorium, or through the auditorium. So we have like an extra entire hallway to fill.
Is that because you simply need the room?
Yeah, we've grown so much this year. It's really exciting.
Is there a lot of pressure to make sure this thing works like it is when there's pressure to be in the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band? Do the other kids in your group know how important this is?
I think that the ones who've been in the band for a while understand, and I think that freshmen are about to learn. But my mom's she's Kendra Martin. She's the ASB. She's the band booster president. She's been working like every single night on this thing. She gets home from work and she's just like, band booster, but Craft Bazaar. So a lot of work goes into it.
And we have just a couple more questions left. And you brought up an important point, and thank you for not letting me forget it. The booster club and the parents, if they're not involved in this, it is saying happen. I mean, do the folks have any idea what kind of time that your parents go through from the time you start band in August all the way through spring and marching season? Do they have any idea what kind of what both you and the parents have to go through?
I don't know. Sometimes people will say things and they go, "What? You just march with instruments?" And it's like, there's so much more that goes into it and creating this family, and so we're like always so grateful for our parents and our booster club because like they're really outstanding.
A lot of time, a lot of effort. You're a senior. What are you going to do? You're going to graduate and then what?
I'm going to Central. I've been accepted already. I think I'm not going into the music program this next year, but I'm going to audition for the music program my sophomore year of college. I just need to work on my chops. I'm not quite there yet.
Well, good for you. I went through Ellensburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the backseat of a patrol car, so it doesn't count. What's your advice to this lovely young lady who takes the reins starting next year? What are you going to tell her in June when you're graduating? Don't screw it up?
Yeah. Well, don't be afraid to screw up. And treat your junior drum major well. We've both been there with mean senior drum majors. No, I think just remember why you've stuck in it and why you love it.
And one last thing, what's it like to go to class with Mr. Kovac? Mr. K is your teacher. He seems pretty cool. Now, I don't know, I'm 40 plus years removed from high school, but.
Well, I would say he's pretty cool. He's an all right dude.
Okay.
He's really, really funny. He's strict. He's gotten less strict. I think his grandkids did it to him. He's like kind of a softie now. Like, it used to be if it was raining during practice, suck it up, because it rains during Auburn, it rains during Everett. You're marching in the rain all the time. Get over it. And I think either he's tired of paying for instruments getting repaired from the wetness, and tired of seeing like his heart just hurts for these cold, shivering little kids. So he's gotten a little softer, but there's still like One time during band camp, he does crazy things. I was chilling, I was watching the tenor brass section do their thing, and he goes, "Follow me." And I follow him down the hallway, and he points at a trail of blood, and we follow the trail of blood all the way to the bathroom, and he's like, okay, that's it. I'm like, all right, okay. See you later, Mr. K.
Okay, well, I hope we didn't cost him his job. I'll tell you this much, though. I have offered Mr. K to be on this show a dozen times, and he always flatly declines.
Yeah.
And he's dead dog serious about it.
He's not into getting his pictures taken.
Yeah.
He doesn't like being seen around. Every time, like, we go to a competition or something, and they ask for like a little about the conductor, he writes like 2 sentences, and the rest of the conductors and band directors have like 4-page essays about themselves, and he's like, "I'm James Kovac. I direct at Golden Apple." Marching band.
He puts the spotlight where it should be,
right,
which is on the kids.
Yeah.
Again, it is Saturday, December 2nd. I believe it starts at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Loose closing hours. It's like 2 or 2:30, but they're not going to throw you out if you're still buying stuff. It's always a good idea to bring cash, but almost all of the vendors will be taking the little swipey, cubey, I don't know what the name of it is. But if you bring cash, you know you're going to be able to get what you want to get. And be sure to spend a lot of time and spend a lot of money so we can help these kids out. All right, have fun.
Thank you.
Cool. Have a good concert season.
Yes, we're really excited.
I'm getting into it. I'm starting to understand. All I play is the kazoo, and I really do that very well. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Some items of business to take care of before we send you on your way on this last day of November. First of all, if you entered to win on Winning Wednesday yesterday, the 4 premium tickets to a future Wenatchee Wild hockey game, I got all the entries right here in the red plastic bucket. I'm going to mix them up. I'm going to close my eyes so it's all on the up and up. I'm going to mix it up really good. And I'm going to pull out this name here. And the winner, and I will be getting a hold of you, is... Hold tight. Kersnaflu Wankensnine. I don't think he's from around here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's upside down. Julie. Julie, I will be getting a hold of you. Congratulations to Julie. Thanks for everybody who entered for Winning Wednesday. We'll do it again next week. Different prize next week. Thanks to the Wenatchee Wild. Snow, we have 2 slides to show from you, to you. Oh, first of all, thanks to Alpine Air. Alpine Air is a platinum sponsor of not only this program, why I don't know, but the whole NCW Life Channel family of programming. Alpine Air for heat and air, call Alpine Air. All right, snow. We got 2 slides. This is the low end amount of total snow that you see on the map, at least this much, starting today and going through Sunday morning. So here in the Wenatchee Valley, 1 inch, maybe, could even be less than that. Stevens Pass is going to get at least 2 feet of snow. There's going to be a lot of snow going to come down on the Cascade Passes. All of them, I-90, Blewett, and Stevens. That's the low end amount. The high end amount, pretty dramatic. Look at that. Close to 40 inches of snow on Stevens, close to 40 inches of snow on I-90. We could get up to 3 inches of snow in the Wenatchee Valley. Now, there's a lot of variables out there. And so that's why they did the low end and the high end So we could get that much. Are we? I don't know. We'll know more tomorrow. From the National Weather Service, light intermittent snow for the day today. We'll top off right around the freezing mark, 31, 32, give or take a couple. 23 for the overnight low tonight. Friday, some snow up to about an inch, we think, so it shouldn't really affect your afternoon commute on Friday with a high of about 30. A little bit of light snow Friday night into Saturday, and then Saturday it switches over to rain by the afternoon, and then just plain rain Sunday and Monday. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Innsbruck, baby! Woo! That's me, Elizabeth, with my friend and actor, Jesse LeBeau. And today we're right in the middle of some rugged European mountains. We'll go exploring in the city.
I love it because it's one of the biggest shopping areas here.
And head out to higher ground.
Wow, I can't believe the view up here. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Then we'll investigate Innsbruck's historic Old Town and the science of the funicular.
Hey, what is this thing we're on? We're on a funicular right now.
Before taking the perfect trivia test.
All right, so I just counted. There's 28 of these people. Who are they?
And day tripping into a snowy village.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you...
It's all about living life at a high elevation. And today you get to come along too.